Welcome back everyone. So within this video we are going to move on and work further on the communication GUI and the GUI that is working on the connection. So now we can refresh and get the list of the port available on the computer and also getting some logic. So when we select the boats, the connection button is working properly. So we can put here and we get the message of successful UART connection. And if we disconnect, we get also another message explaining that the COM is closed. On the other hand, also, if we use another program to get so if the port is used or unavailable when we already selected it, so let's connect to the microcontroller, and if I try to put connect, I will have a message too. So and I will be protected, and I will not go in the way that everything is frozen. Okay, so if you want to learn more how to do these basic things about the GUI and the serial and connect them together, stay tuned within this episode. So within this tutorial today, we will be focusing on establishing the connection between Python and the microcontroller. So, and within the tutorial, this is the part 2 of the connection manager. So in the previous one, we worked on the GUI. Now we are going to work on the serial. And as usual, you don't need to copy what I'm writing in the screen because everything is available on GitHub. You just have to understand the logic. We are going to use only Python, and the text editor is VS Code. And finally, you will need a little bit of Python knowledge to follow easily this tutorial. I will try my best to explain as much as possible every step and the significance of the code. For the tutorial, so first of all, we need to start by enabling the connection button, and there's some logic that we stopped at in the previous video. Then we are going to initialize the serial class because, as I said, this code will be based mainly on classes to keep the maintainability and also the modularity of the code. After that, we are going to set up the refresh and using the serial code to get the list of port available. After that, opening the serial connection and finally closing the connection. Okay, so I think there is nothing to explain as a concept, so we can jump directly to the code. So we ended up the last video with having this refresh and serial connect unavailable button and also some logic missing. So let's open quickly the GUI and bring it here. So you can see here that first of all I'm having a dummy COM and also I can't click on connect even with these one are selected. And what I exactly want is first checking if both are selected, means we don't have this high bar here. This one, if this is COM and this is like this one is not, it will be enabled and I will be able to connect. So let's close here. So what we have been doing here, we have seen that there is a function that we added which called the connect control, this one on this drop menu. So each time we touch the drop menu, this function will be called. And also this function too, which also have a drop menu, will connect this to this method actually here. So what we are going to do is going here and making a quick check. It's a very simple one. So what we can do is going if, and we do have this hyphen or high bar in, and here which was very interesting. So you remember I was focusing on this string var. Where is it? This one. So what we need to take is we need to take this clicked, for example. So if we do like this, so let's make it simple first before we do that. So let's put a print in front of this to see what's going there. So, and we put get to get the value. So let's just put like this and see what's going on. So let's put here, and you can see now. So when I put this one, you get a connect control for this one, connect control. Oh, I didn't actually save. So let me save here and try it again. If I put like this, so nothing is showing up. Why? So let's check. So self.click.com get, still having this print, but of course this is not working because I am in the refresh button, not in the connect control, which should be here. Yeah. So let's try again. Yeah, it's quite. It's Monday. Okay, you see it gives me this com3. So what we need to do here, so let me remove this one. And what I'm going to do, I will put if we do have this hyphen in self, or we just be like this, or I don't need the print actually. Print for this one, or it's same. So this one in here and again, and I need to go on this one. So the one that I would like to get is we clicked, yeah, we go self dot get like this. So if we do have either one of them have this high bar, what we need to do is to keep self the btn, the button which is related to connect, and we put state. This is the option that controls the disable or active mode. So state is equal, and we put disable. Okay, we keep it disable anyway. So else, if both of them are quite good, let's quite copy this one quickly and put it here. It will be active. Okay, so let's run the program and see what's going on. So I'm moving this one, nothing happened. I'm moving this one, and we do have the connect button ready to run the connection. Okay, so we cleared some GUI logic, so you could see how to drop the drop menus can activate a method that will control another place from the menu. So what we are going to go now for the next step and create the refresh, and not having this dummy comms here, but having our really hardware connected comms. Okay. So before actually you start refreshing and everything, what we need to do is to set up our serial communication as a minimum. So we are going to start the serial thing. So before you need to do a pip install. So pip install. Let me make this one bigger. Install PySerial. Probably already installed it. Okay, all requirement has been satisfied. So you don't need, so if you don't have it, so you just put pip install PySerial. I put this in comments so you don't have to worry about that. And let's start create the serial class, and I will put it in a different file so we can keep a little bit of understanding and a good modulation of our program. So I'll call this one serial com and also control. Okay, and I will add .py. And within this one, what we will do for the moment, so we will not import the library. We will import it later because it will be little bit different. We will create the class and we will call it serial control. Okay, and here we just create a dummy init function just for the moment. So a dev and then init. Okay, I don't want, and I will put a pass. Okay, we should be good. Now we're not good because I need to put this one, and the init is wrong because I need to add all the self. Okay, so now we are good. We do have our serial code, and the second thing that we need to do is to go to the master and come here and say from the serial here import, there's only one, the serial control. Okay, and before the root master, and I will explain, you will understand later on, my serial here, I will call my serial on this one is equal to serial control. Okay, so we are going to create this class here, this object, and we will pass it to the communication GUI, and here we call the my serial. Okay, but if you like, I'm sure you remember because it was in the previous video. Remember here in my init function in the communication GUI, I put it only the root, and I will put a serial here, and just here after my self.root equal root, self.serial is equal serial. Should be nice and good here. So this one is to include the serial object within the communication GUI or the connection GUI. So we have a better, how to say, communication between the objects. Let's run just in case here and see that everything goes well. There is no issue at all. And now we set up the serial class, not the serial communication, the serial class to be ready being used within this different class. Okay, so now we are going to refresh, and usually, as usual, so this is for safety matter, what I would do, I will go to the serial again, and so as usual, if main.main, so if it's main, then we will use it, then we keep this one inactive just in case. Okay, so let's start first of all on the serial connection, and we need here to start importing some stuff so we can start using really the library. So for this one, it's import, but not PySerial. We need to get serial.tools.list, and then it's not list, I think we have it here, list and ports. Okay, we need to import this one, and let's start create a new method. So we call it def and call get com list. I'm always really bad on names. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so we got the list. We will get this method, and this method is really quite simple. We put ports equal, and we can say serial.tools, exactly this one. We just copy this and we put here, it's a function directly. And what we can make, so we can go back to init here, and we can put self.com here list, and we put it equal as an empty list. And here, so this port will be an object with that we will have the list of ports. So what we are going to do, so this actually it's a list of different objects related to the connection for the serial, but we would like to take only the names. So what we are going to make is self dot, what we call it here, com list will be equal. So we are reconstructing the list again. So this one will generate a list. And we would like to take the first element of this list because it's already having some list on it. So it will be a com0. You will get it when I will build this list. A com0 for com in ports. Okay, so what we are going to do here is constructing a list here with the 0 element of the iterative object that we do have here. Okay, but this will be a list that will have all the coms, but we would like to need to have a one that is here. So self, what we are going to do is com, as usual, com list, and I would like to insert in the first position, putting 0, and then putting the dash like this. Okay, so now we will have this one ready. And to make it simpler, let's go back to our GUI master and go for the refresh. Let's say when we run the refresh, just for the moment, let's print not refresh, but what we are going to do, we can go here. So as we added the serial, so self dot serial, and what we can run directly, we go back to the serial here, and we can run this method. Okay, I will remove the self later on. I just copy because I always make mistakes in names, and I would be printing self serial. I'm connecting my com just for information like this, serial and dot. I just copy this name here. the communication list, the comms list. Okay, let's go for it and confirm. Okay, so let's run it and check what's happening when we click on refresh. So bring this one. When I click on refresh, I have an error. Let's check what is the error. This is module is not callable. Okay, probably I have made an error in this one. So serial tools dot port. Please forget this one. It's I hope comports like this. Let's check again. Okay, I do have my GUI. Refresh. I have a list. You see here, I do have a COM3 which is connected to my PC, which is perfect, but that's what we want. What we want is to have it in directly in the available one here. So what we need to do is to go back again. So let's go back to this one and let's keep a little bit for this one and go to the COM option menu on this one. And what we are going to do is to actually generate this one each time. Don't need this one anymore, like this. And after that, what we are going to add is we take this one because this is the updated one here, and we put the element 0 here because we change it, and we don't need the comms anymore. We put it here, so it should be good. We keep this print just in case, like this, and let's check what happens when we do that. So now when we start, we have the COM3 because that's the COM that we were connecting to. And so let me, for example, I don't have other COMs unfortunately, but now as we update, we have this COM3, which is really perfect. But let's now improve our connection and create something because that's a small problem that happens each time. So this is only when we have this, but imagine I remove or I add another one. So we need to add a bit of logic, which is extremely important that we have to update. So first of all, in the refresh here, what we need to do is to put self dot drop this one.com. We need to destroy this widget because if we keep doing that, that widget will have some issues. We destroy the widget. And after that, we just add again. So the init function we added here, it will immediately re-update everything. Where is it? So the COM object here. So after that, we are going to update it. And finally, we need to get from, where is the other function? The publish function, and republish this object. So this is the object that we would like to republish here. So recreate, so we destroy the object, we run it again so we can get the new list, and after that we just need to apply another thing which is extremely important. So we put some variable, so we call it logic because this function equal have some need to input, and we call the self dot connect control. So at least we are sure that our program will review again if we need to enable or disable the connect button. So let's save, go here, and for example, so this happened automatically. And if I click refresh, okay, I have an issue. So connect control, missing one requirement. Yeah, of course, I need to put the logic. Okay, this is have no meaning. It just it needs another input because it's connected to drop menu. So let's go again, right to it. And actually, I think I put it the wrong. This is the boat. Just a moment. Yeah, you see, it's easy to get confusing here. So that's why we need to have the com, this one, not the boat. Okay, now we are good. So let's quickly connect here, here. If I put refresh, I have this one refreshed. I have only the COM3, unfortunately, and I have the list that I want, and this one is disabled. Good. So now we can generate automatically the list of comms. We can jump to the next one, and we are ready to get connect. Okay, so here we are at the biggest part of our program and to establish the communication. So this will be totally managed with the serial connect. So let me remove print, and mainly will be based on a certain logic. So the first of all is to confirm. We can start here if the self, and you see how handy it is to use self everywhere. Button connect here text here text, but here text is equal or is in connect to be within the Python language. In connect, we do something, and then else. So actually, it's not pass. Let's put here. We start the connection. Start the connection. Okay. Else here we put something else. Would be we start closing the connection. Okay, and then we put pass. Good. So how do we start the connection? So we started simply by going to the serial menu here, and we create a new method, and we call it def. Let's give it a simple name. I hope you guys forgive me this time, and serial open. Try to be basic. So as we may have already a connection open, or to avoid to have error on these kind of things, I'd like to start by try, just in case. Try self, because this doesn't exist yet. My ser or serial is open. This is a function which is here is open. This is something that is already within the serial library, and we don't need to call any serial library because we have already this import here. So if this doesn't exist and we don't have to bother ourselves, what we need to do is to go for the except, okay, except, and go here, and we start. So my port is equal, yeah, so I need to get the port data. And how can I get the port data? I need to have an input here from the GUI that we do have. So my port is equal, and that will be my GUI dot, and as you can remember, and you can go here, it's the data within the drop menu or the string var. So it's the click. I need to get it back just in case. So that's here, and this is the com or the port. So this one clicked com, okay, just in case. And if this one, so clicked com dot get, and my board, the board that I would like to have, will be same GUI dot, and let's quickly go back here. So let me close this one, and that will be the string var of clicked pd. Okay, let's go back here, and we give a dot get. So this is how we take the data from our menu, so to insert it and use it here. So self, and we call here self ser dot Lisa, sorry, equal serial dot serial. Should be correct, I hope. Okay, and that's the first step. After that, we just let me copy this. The self dot serial will be here. The dot baud rate here, baud rate will be equal to baud, and after that, the serial dot port, and this is redefining the port that we are going to use, will be equal to port. So now we set up everything. And one important thing that I quite better advice to use is to add some timeout. So self here dot timeout. So this is because if something goes wrong, you don't have your serial to get blocked there. So timeout equal 0, 1. So we give it 100 milliseconds just in case. Okay, so now we're quite good. So we set up our connection and should be good. After that, we are going to have a double check. Try again. So now we open by putting this, we open, so we prepared our data, but still, if self double check again, here dot dot is open, so we are checking things well. If it's open, we can print it's open, but we can have a special one, self dot share dot status. I would like to get my status of this is not we put it status equal true like this, and to be sure that everything is going well. But after that, if it's not, if we do have that and there's no problem, we go here, else. We input this once again because something wrong did happen. Yeah, we all put everything back again, and we put self dot there dot open. Here we open our connection, and what we can add also self dot share status equal true. So we are sure that there's no issue at all. This, which is good. And finally, so if this one we put an except here, except this one will equal to false because we couldn't manage and happen to open this connection. Okay, so this is in general will manage most of the cases that we will have related to some connection issue we do have. So what we can do now, we have to go back here. Better to copy this function name just in case. Serial open. So we go here and we try something. So first of all, it's self.serial, and after that we put the serial open self, only self. That's what we need. Okay, so I remove the pass because it's not what we need, and we check if self.serial dot share dot status. So if we are good, so what we need to do here is starting changing a little bit the bottom configurations. I will copy paste directly, not to waste time in writing like this. So what we will do, so the text inside the connect button will change and become disconnect. So this is will move us to the next one here, to the disconnect. After that, as I am connected, I will need to disable all the other buttons because that's not normal to keep changing our baud and also the other port when we are connected, which will give us directly to the other one. So in the else situation, we still have to review a little bit more. We need to put all this one at the opposite. Okay, so this is good. This is really good, but we can add some nice stuff just in case if we would like to have some result. If we do, so we put an if here, but if we would like to move further and to have an else, just in case to be sure that we do have the connection happening. Okay, so let's go here and let's put an error message. Okay, error called error message. And I already prepared because I'm very slow at writing, so I'll put F here. I'll be putting some here. Copy that. Okay, that will be a very good and quick way to check if there's an issue. So here we do have failure to establish your connection using, and here we get the port, and we put the error message. So show error, that will be the type of message that we will show, and error message. This is a nice feature from Tkinter, but we need to go here and put from Tkinter import, and we call it, it's a message box. Okay, that should be good here. We can actually make a test then. Well, let's check. First of all, let's run our code to check that everything is well. Connect, and let's choose one here. We should be good. We should be good. And actually, what we need to do, what we should better doing, is to add also another message. I forgot to add this message. So let's go and connect here. Put this one. So we put a successful message, and this is showing info. Okay, let me run it again. And put com, whatever the boat, connect, successful UART connection using COM3. Perfect. So let's click disconnect, but nothing happened in disconnect. And if I put connect, it happens again, no issues at all. So let's try something else. Let's check here. So I do have another connection here, another program that used to connect. So let me open this one. So I'm getting, this is my program, and this is a very basic HTML, which is really a program that is to connect. And let me connect. So I'm connected to my, as you can see, I'm getting data from my MCU. So let me select here and try to connect. Failure to establish connection using COM3. So let's try to refresh. And I still have the COM3, but I cannot connect. But if I disconnect on this one and connect here, I have a connection. Okay, so now that we can connect, we still have just to finish the last step and have a clean disconnect. Okay, this is our last step. We could have a clean connect. Now we need to have a clean disconnect. And as you could expect, we will go also to serial here and add a new method in our class, and we call it def here. And as you could expect, a very simple name, serial close, and as serial close, and where we put here self, and that's all I think that we need to add for this one. Self here. And what we are going to do is always put a try just in case, because if there is some misinterpretation or you to save your code from any bugging issue, it can be good, but it can be bad. Good because we can, so actually good because it helps the program to move on. Bad because when you're debugging, you can see the problem. So quite careful when using this. So what we are going here, trying first if there is open just in case. After that, we put self if it's open, because if it's already not open, we don't need to do it. So there dot close. This is what would close the function, and after that, what we put is self status is equal to 4. And finally, we close there by what we can do is putting exception. Except, and we just add only this one. So to be sure that the program is thinking that the status is for the serial connection is false. So we have done this one. So what we can do, we go back here, and what we can make, so immediately we start. So we close the connection, and which will be self dot serial dot there, no, serial, and then serial close, like this. So this will close the connection. We can add an info message just to say that the connection is closed. I will be using it only this time to show some useful stuff, but after that I will remove it to avoid each time going back and checking about having this extra time that we lose. Okay, so let's save. Let's go run the program, have a check. Oh, COM3 connection here, connect, perfect, disconnect, perfect. Oh, the connection is closed. yeah, so within this one, we had a GUI that first of all have a good logic to enable the connection and then establish a serial connection. Don't do it when there is an issue and let you know, and also close the connection. Thank you.